Leftovers.
What's going on, man?
Not too much, man. What's going on with you?
Oh, end of the workday, ready to tear apart the weekend like a wild animal.
Oh, I hear that.
Yeah.
You got big plans this weekend?
No, actually. I did have big plans. They got ruined, but then one of my buddies is supposed to come down from Seattle, passing on his way through to Colorado. So,
okay.
Yeah, probably hang out, maybe barbecue some hamburgers, that kind of thing. What about you?
Colorado's the Sunshine State, right?
It sure is. Yep.
That's right. Yeah.
Yep. It's known for its tulips and bumblebees, actually.
Mm-hmm. That's what I thought. Yeah. For me, I'm supposed to hang out with some friends tomorrow. I'm gonna play some board and card games. That's what we do. But other than that, just pretty chill.
Hell yeah, man. Well,
Yeah,
that's
man.
exciting.
Yeah, I like it.
Well, welcome everyone to Movie Leftovers once again. And we couldn't make it last week, but we're here now. So how about that? Yeah.
That's right. We took a long journey, a homeward bound, if you will, but we finally arrived.
We did. What a throwback film. Yeah, so last week we said we were going to do Homeward Bound. My initial impressions, Peter needs friends, dude.
Yeah, no kidding.
I kind of empathize a little bit with him, but I mean, really, like drawing the dog on the Peachy folder in class, demanding that he talk to him on the phone and stuff, which I thought was maybe a little excessive. But I do feel that there needed to be a scene where Peter screams, "You're not my real dad." And that would have like really set the tone for this movie. But my question for you.
Yeah.
What if the family crying on the couch when they learned the animals were gone just kept crying and it just softly faded to black and then the credits rolled?
That's the end of the movie.
That's it. Other early impressions, the producers of this movie seem to love throwing cats into the water, and they do that a bunch of times.
They do that a few times.
And then
we should probably give the overall premise of what happens in this film, because it's such a throwback people may not remember.
Yeah, go ahead.
Essentially, some pets get left at a ranch.
Yeah, at a friend's house, which happens to be
take
a ranch.
Care of them.
Yeah,
right. Well, the family goes to San Francisco, I guess, for a few weeks or
on
months.
Work for some reason.
Work. Yeah, it's all just whatever, just an excuse to make these animals have to go on a long and incredible journey.
Yeah.
So.
Quick question. What if Bob came home with some new pets like gerbils or something, and then Peter screams at Bob like when Anakin was on fire, screaming at Obi-Wan like "I hate you" really loudly over and over again. So Bob instinctively just lights the boy on fire and walks away in shame, just like Obi-Wan did to Anakin after kicking his ass in a lightsaber fight. Do you think?
There you go.
That would have added some spice?
Can't wait to hear your reboot pitch now. If you're throwing that stuff out.
I mean, hey.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, man. This movie, I definitely remembered it differently than when I watched it as an adult. It does not hold up.
Yeah.
It's a half-hour premise over 90 minutes.
Yeah. It's an after-school special scene over 90 minutes.
Yeah. But they tried. I did question a lot of how did this movie get made. So I did look it up and how they pulled off the things they pulled off.
Yeah.
So like some scenes, right? We have Sassy the cat gets thrown into a river at one point, right?
Well, like at lots of points. Like the river was one point, but she's constantly in water.
Correct.
Yeah.
So from what I read, they kind of faked it. She herself was in a controlled, basically bath, like a tub, and then they spliced that in over the river. So that's how they made that work.
It's like a Chris Angel magic trick,
right?
Okay.
Right. I'm not sure how they got the cougar in the water because it was in the water and then kind of like walked off onto land. And I imagine throwing a cougar in the water, it's not easy to do.
I mean, that would be the worst job on set, don't you think?
Yeah.
It's just like, all right, Tim, you're up.
Yeah.
What's Tim doing? Tim has to put like a 220-pound cat that's feral,
right,
into the water. Yeah.
right. Because I doubt you're really training that cougar.
No, and also, if memory serves, cats don't care for water all that much.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Yeah. But according to what I read, they somehow figured it out. They did use some animatronics.
Yeah.
So, okay. Um, the cougar got, so at one point they used kind of a seesaw effect to throw the cougar into the river.
They did.
Very fake cougar that goes flying in the air.
It's a very fake cougar. It also kind of defies physics that a dog of the size of the dog jumping would have created that level of force. Yeah.
Right. I did read that the cougar and the dogs were always kept apart, and so they were literally shooting back to back.
I can't imagine why.
Yeah. You can clearly see it when Shadow, the golden retriever, is wagging his tail with excitement as the cougar approaches.
Yeah. Yeah, that was one of those things where it's like, I haven't owned a pet in a long time, but if memory serves, they would act much differently with a predator that size.
Indeed.
So, yeah, I picked up on a lot of that.
Yeah. I did read that there was a lot of they would shoot him up to a point, and then the dog would eat a treat because that's how they got him to do the thing they wanted him to do.
Yeah.
Right. And so that's where they would cut and move to the next thing. I did read that it did take a long time to shoot this to get the animals to do what they're supposed to do.
Well, and what's fascinating is just before we went live, you mentioned you couldn't find how much money they actually spent, what the budget was for this film. I'd have to imagine it was quite a bit, considering they probably had to shoot the same scene a bunch of different times and then edit in the best pieces because they're animals, and animals are not the best to work with. I mean, cats specifically, like dogs, obviously a little better to train and stuff, but yeah, I'd imagine this was not a very easy shoot for what was kind of a thin film anyway.
Right, and then they made a sequel, so
Yeah.
Yeah. We didn't see that one though, but
no.
Yeah, man, this
coming up next.
Yeah, this thing must have been a nightmare to shoot.
I'd imagine
it comes in a time though there was a lot of animal movies at that point. You had Babe Pig in the City.
I get it.
Check-ins,
but I don't remember being like super enamored with this film when I first saw it when I was young, and it certainly, to your point, does not hold up as an adult.
Right.
But I just like, do we need this movie? Maybe not.
I wonder if even kids today would like it.
I
don't think they would.
No, I don't think they would.
Yeah, maybe like little kids, but
right.
Yeah, like 5 and under.
I'd imagine the most expensive part of the movie was the voice actors. But that said, what did this thing make? Do we have reviews and box office dollars?
Yeah, so I found a really cool website called The Numbers, and not only do they give you the total, but they also give you the adjusted for inflation, so I don't have to do the math. It's great. So
perfect.
At the time, it made $41.8 billion
with a B.
Or million, sorry, 41.
Oh, it's like, oh my God,
million. Yeah, sorry.
Okay,
I had to work today. It's a long day.
That's okay. I was just like, no way.
Yeah. So adjusted for inflation, that would be 92.7 million.
Sure.
So I mean, healthy, I guess. Without knowing what it cost to make, well, clearly it made a profit, right? Because they made a sequel,
right?
So, okay. We do have the Rotten Tomatoes scores, so
let's go. This probably, I'd imagine this scored pretty well.
Yeah, people seem to like it. It's at a 71%, and then an 87% for critics. So, yeah, people liked it. I guess we're in the minority. Yeah, indeed.
I don't know if we're necessarily in the minority on that, but I assume the reviews are probably going to be for the 5 stars. Oh, what a wholesome, amazing adventure, and this was fun to sit through.
Well, instead of finding a 1 and a 5-star review, I found this 4-star review by Mike J. I don't know if you want to read that. because it
Yeah,
broke my
Mike
brain.
J says on April 28th of last year, which is 2022, Sonic is a movie theater movie star, film movie star.
I mean, I couldn't have said it better myself. That's exactly how I would review this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right below it is an anonymous review that says one of my favorite films when I was little, really entertaining. And that's basically the mindset on this thing.
I think these reviewers are paid actors.
You think they're bots?
I don't know.
They could be bots.
Yeah, a family favorite, great humor and sweet moments. I absolutely love this
movie.
movie.
You go, half-star review.
Half-star review. This is from Anonymous. This was September 4th, 2020. Interesting time in America and worldwide, to say the least. It's half a star, in fact, and, quote, the weirdest teen sex comedy I've ever seen, period. Who brings a mountain lion, ? End quote.
I mean, who does indeed?
Yeah. I mean, that would have been my secondary talk point. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, tell you what, let's take a break and then we'll come back and we'll give our pitches and how we would rescue these animals.
Yeah.
All right. And we're back.
Yeah. Welcome back to Movie Leftovers.
Indeed.
Thanks for joining us. Homeward Bound is the film we're talking about today.
Homeward Bound.
Yeah.
So do we rescue this thing or do we put it down? What do you want to do?
I'm going to rescue it.
All right. What do you got?
Sequel. Here are my notes in their totality.
Okay.
Reading to people is great content. Sequel, Homeward Bound 2, Moving Day.
There you go.
Plot. They move. 2 words. That's it. They move.
Okay.
I honestly, like, as cheeseball as this movie was, I kind of don't think you really depart from it unless you do something that's completely out of pocket or like completely left field, or you put them in like a cyberpunk universe, or it doesn't resonate. The story needs to kind of be in the setting that it was to begin with. So I think the kids are a little bit older. Maybe Shadow's not doing too good and needs like one of those weird dog walking things where, like, you know, his hind legs
like
need
wheels?
assistance. And so, yeah. So, something like that, but they're forced to move like across town, and really we spend more time figuring out what the pets do and don't like about their owners. We introduce maybe a new pet into the fold, like a gerbil or something. Maybe we'll refrain from having lightsaber fights, but at the end of the day, like, I can't really depart from the formula that they have because this is so cornball. So like for me, I think it's just maybe an explanation of how amazing their life is post incredible journey, a bunch of reflection points. They move into a new environment. We're probably going to lose Shadow at the end of the movie. There's probably going to be a new puppy involved. And my cast for this, I have Mel Gibson as Shadow.
Oh, okay.
I have Mark Wahlberg as Chance. And then sassy, I've got Judi Dench, because I'm not getting off the Judi Dench train. That's 2 movie leftovers in a row where I've been on this Judi Dench train.
I just hear Mark Wahlberg saying, "Say hi to your mother for me."
Yeah, exactly right. We need some stuff in there.
Yeah.
But I think we modernized the plot a little bit where there is something for everybody, but I don't want to make it like for the adults. I just think if it's going to be cornball, just wrap it up, tighten it up a little bit. I mean, it doesn't need to be as grandiose as the last one. And if you do anything grandiose, like, that's what CG is here for these days. You don't really need the animatronics and the cheese ball as much, but I think you could make a cool movie that connects to a wide range of audience involving pets that is maybe not as, I don't know, of its time, that this movie seriously feels like of its time when you rewatch it now, you know? The setting, the nomenclature, the style, the, you know, dialogue, all of it, animatronics, that kind of thing. But yeah, if it's going to stay in the Disney universe, I think you can keep it as cheeseball. So I would delete the sequel they have. I would just do my own spin-off sequel and maybe update a couple of pieces, but nothing radical on this one because it sort of is its own little entity, and I know that's very unoriginal of me and probably not as exciting. So that's kind of where I would go with it. I wouldn't make this a series. Nobody would watch it.
Yeah.
That's kind of my take.
That's fair.
Yeah.
It's kind of the vein I was going with. I also well, I would remake it, right? So I would modernize it a little bit. I would do, same idea. The family's got to go into the big city for a while, and they're leaving the animals at a ranch. I would only though leave Shadow, the older dog, and Sassy at the ranch. Chance is not in this picture at all, at least at this point. And what I would do is, somebody's knocking my door, dude.
Let's do it. I'll hold the live stream. Go take care of the door.
All right.
My guess is when he comes back to this pod that we're doing live, he's probably going to say that we find Chance in San Francisco and the family adopts him and brings him back. But I don't know. I suppose time will tell. Anybody that is lurking live that saw this movie ahead of the show, let us know what you would have done with it. Movie Leftovers. We're on Twitch. We're on YouTube. We're on Twitter. But yeah, that's what I think he's going to pitch at me. I think it's going to be that, or Chance will be at the end of the film. That's what I think. But yeah, is someone at my door now? It's hilarious. Last time I was doing a live stream, I had 3 knocks at the door. 3. And it was pretty rough. So apologies for the technical break-in show. But let us know what you thought of Homeward Bound. I'm also kind of caught between what our next movie should be, because it's my turn to pick. And I was kind of like sifting through some classic movies, and then I was kind of stuck between Inception and Conan the Destroyer. I don't know which one to do. Maybe we'll softball it back to Dan when he returns.
I'm back.
He's returned. Was it an Amazon person who was there?
Dude, it was the weirdest thing I've ever heard.
Uh-huh.
This guy's an old man knocking on my door, and he's like, "Hey, are the missionaries here?" And I'm like, "What?" and he's like, "Yeah, I'm here to pick up the missionaries." I'm like, "Dude, I'm the only one that lives here."
Nice.
And it ends up he's from the LDS church.
Nice.
And was there to pick up some missionaries. And I'm like, "What address did they send you to?" And he shows me the text. It's my address.
Yeah. Maybe you're on a watch list, or he's scouting you for recruitment later.
I don't know, man. That's the weirdest thing.
All right. Well, welcome back. So you were explaining to us Chance is not yet in this film, or at all. We're not quite sure yet.
Right.
So, and that kind of led us down a thought experiment.
Yeah. Sassy and Shadow are at the ranch.
Okay.
Peter leaves Shadow with like a chew toy.
Mm-hmm.
And so Shadow connects with that thing because he can still smell Peter on it. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so like we do a quick time lapse. He's been at the ranch for a little bit, maybe like a week, and he starts noticing he can't smell Peter anymore. And that's what really makes him sad. And then they try to do the kids try to do like a FaceTime call with their animals. But because the ranch is so remote, the signal doesn't really work very well and it can't happen. But Shadow barely hears Peter's voice for like a hot second, hears him say Shadow. And so that's what makes him go, "I got to get out of here. My boy misses me."
Right. Now is Shadow going to be played by Colonel Slade, Al Pacino, and Son of a Woman, when he sniffs the chew toy and he says, "Hoo-ah, Charlie"?
Yeah, basically, right?
Yeah. Okay.
That kind of deal. So that's what starts Shadow and Sassy taking off, because they're gonna go get their kids, right? And so they do the whole thing through the forest. They get into the city. In the city is where they meet a streetwise dog who's on his own.
Oh,
Chance,
let's go.
right? And Chance is like, "You guys are your pets. You don't know what you're doing out here. You don't know what to watch out for things. You're screwed," right? And so he says, basically to the effect of like, I'm going to take care of you guys because we're dogs. We run in a pack.
Right.
I'm going to show you how to handle this because that's what dogs do.
As
right?
you do.
As you do.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Shadow's like, no, we're pets. We need to get back to our people. We need to be loyal. No, we need to be loyal to each other. So that's like kind of the fight, right?
Mm-hmm.
So eventually they get back to the family. Everybody's all happy. And what's been happening this whole time is Chance has been showing Shadow how to be more independent and be, kind of a little bit that way. But Shadow's been teaching him to be more of a pet. And so it ends with the little boy hugging Chance because the entire time Chance is like, I don't want to be a pet. I don't ever want to be a pet. I love being on the street. But when he gets hugged, he's like, oh my God, feels so good.
Right.
Well, now
so he doesn't bite the child.
He doesn't bite the child. He wants to, he accepts that. And the family's like, they must have picked up a friend. I guess we're adopting him. That kind of dumb thing.
Chat, did I call this or did I call this?
Is that what you said?
Yeah, I said the family's going to adopt him and he's going to bring him in at the end. Like they're going to find him in San Francisco or something.
Yeah. You called this. So that's the premise, right? So for my cast, family, kids, whatever, it doesn't matter. We'll just find people.
Cast doesn't matter. Plus
no,
Colonel
not
Slade.
the people cast do not matter, right?
Hooah, Charlie.
That's right. So, now you've got me. All right. Al Pacino is going to be Shadow.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Al Pacino is going to be Shadow.
Yes.
Yeah, I love
Let's
that.
Freaking go.
Yeah.
We got him.
Since they have not been reunited, to my knowledge, since Scarface, for Sassy, we're going to get Michelle Pfeiffer.
Oh, this is perfect.
All right.
This is perfect.
So you got Al Pacino, Michelle Pfeiffer just trotting around in the woods as animals.
Yeah.
And then for Chance, we need somebody a little streetwise, a little bit different, some comedic chops, if you will.
Sure.
So we're gonna get Michael Pena.
I love it.
Yes.
I love it. I also love Michael Pena.
Yeah. So there you go. That's my guy.
Who did you really cast for Shadow and Sassy?
Oh, originally?
Yeah.
Yeah, originally. I wanted Liam Neeson for Shadow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought that would be fun. And then for Sassy, I kind of kicked things around, but I thought Kate McKinnon.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. So
I was hoping for Catherine Zeta, but I got it.
I mean, that would be good. That would be good too. But so there you go.
Recasting Scarface and
why not?
Homeward Bound, the remake.
Yeah.
I love it.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I'm still thinking about those missionaries. That's so freaking weird.
Yeah, I hope they get picked up, dude.
Wherever it is they are,
If you're out there, I hope you get picked up.
Your Uber has arrived to the wrong home.
Yeah, dude. Of all things, hey, it's content, right? I love it.
Well, I mean, it's got to be one of my neighbors, right? Because you'd probably picked the wrong house.
You'd think, and there's no shot I'm airing this out on the internet, but I know the name of the street that you live on, and it's kind of a specific typo to accidentally put exactly your address in. That's a,
Right. And that's why I think it's like they got the house number wrong.
Sure.
Probably the right street. It's just the wrong house number.
Nice. Well, if it is a neighbor,
my street is only this block. That's it.
Yeah.
It doesn't extend anywhere else. So
if it is a neighbor and you think that the missionaries are actually there, you should try to do some sleuthing and put like little Gideon's Bibles around and see where they get collected the most or something like that.
They're Mormon missionaries, right? So it'd have to be the Book of Mormon.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how we get them.
I mean, sure.
Sure.
What's that guy's name? David something? Mormon dude.
Koresh?
Joseph Smith? Is that right?
Joseph Smith? Is that who you're thinking about?
Yeah. That's the Mormon guy, right?
Yeah, or Brigham Young.
Yeah. What would Joseph Smith bracelets, right? What would Joseph Smith do? Just leave those around and see who collects them out.
I don't think there are what would Joseph Smith do bracelets.
I think there are now.
Yes. Probably there are some.
There are some.
Yeah. I mean,
I love how you went to Koresh right away.
Well, because you said David. I'm like, Koresh? What are we going for here?
I think that's another religious figure.
Well,
if you could call it that. Yeah.
Yeah. If you call it that.
Yeah. Coming to you live from Waco, Texas. It is Movie Leftovers. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so I was telling them when you stepped away.
Right.
I'm gonna softball this one to you because I don't have an answer. I was scrolling around for what we watch next and what leftovers we reheat. And I'm caught between Inception and Conan the Destroyer, both available on Netflix. Huh? Yeah, both available on Netflix. So I'm going to give that to you as my pick. Do you want to go with Inception, which is a 2 hour and 30 something minute film that's actually a pretty fun rewatch, to be honest, or Conan the Destroyer, which will bring up all kinds of stuff I probably willfully forgot from years past. I haven't seen this movie in easily 15 years. So
yeah, I haven't either. And I have it on DVD. Like,
oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Oh, got it. So you have a physical copy of the media and you haven't seen it either in 15 years?
Yeah.
This is great.
Well,
is it Conan then?
It's Conan. Let's do
It's Conan. Let's do
Conan. I feel like
Conan
Conan's gonna yield more fun.
Yeah.
You know? So, yeah. Conan it is.
Conan it is. Well, tune in with us next time. If you're watching, listening, watch Conan. Come check us out. We're live on, I believe, Twitter, definitely on Twitch, and definitely on YouTube. Is that right?
That is correct. All three. Yeah.
So come in, talk with us a little bit. How would you reheat the movie Leftovers that is Conan the Destroyer next week-ish, we'll say. But follow our socials and you'll see when we go live.
Exactly. All right, man. Well, thanks for being here. Thanks, everybody, for listening.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks, missionaries. Yeah.